You single? Single? Take them? Sure.
Hey guys, hey. So don't let this happy face fool you. I am actually quite PO'd. I had a couple people send a video of me that's going around the interwebs, and I wanted to come on and address it really quick because it has me feeling all kinds of things. I've had about 6 hours to process it. For the first 4 hours, I was feeling pretty sick to my stomach. The last Saturday night, I was out with Lauren and walking down the street, and this dude stopped me, as happens all the time. He was wearing meta glasses. I had no idea he was wearing meta glasses. And you know what? This has happened once before where Lauren and I thought somebody was wearing meta glasses, but we weren't sure. So this dude approaches me. I immediately look at him and think he looks young, and there's something a little bit off with the vibe. So in the video, you know, he comes at me real quick. I'm buffering on, am I into this? You know that moment where you're like, am I into this? I don't know if I'm into this. What's off? What's the vibe? You know, you're trying to get a sense. I really didn't have much time to do that. He took a video of me with his meta glasses as he basically tries to pick me up. Little did I know that this guy has a whole page dedicated to this, under the guise of helping men feel confident or helping men build confidence, which... You met your match, buckaroo, because that's what I do. Buckaroo, that's what I do, but for ladies. And I do that honestly. So he took this video of me. He has hundreds of videos of women who I'm not sure if they know that those videos are out there of them. What's funny to me in particular is that he cut out a part where you see in the video he takes my hand, and I think he kissed my hand or something like that. Then he takes my hand and he drags it down his abs over his shirt. I was immediately like, don't drag my hand down your abs. Am I supposed to be impressed by that? That part is conveniently cut out. Interesting. Anyways, so now this video of, like, it's a harmless interaction at the end of the day. You know, I'm just being me. I'm not out here doing anything that interesting or provocative anyways. What bothers me especially is just that true confidence doesn't require the exploitation of anybody else. It doesn't require deceiving anybody else. So the fact that you are doing all of this on your page under this noble guise of helping build confidence within men, you're not teaching men how to be confident. You're teaching them how to hide. You're teaching them to avoid accountability and calling it charisma. Confidence is not created with sneaky footage and selective storytelling. That's just cowardice with a filter. Considering that he has blocked me from seeing these videos and probably deleted my comments where I expressed that I did not want to be exploited in this way, it just further confirms that you have no problem exploiting women as long as it's to your benefit. And like I said before, that's just boy stuff, not man stuff. You wouldn't understand. So ladies, if you're out there with your friends having a good night, please beware of dudes that approach you with thick rim glasses. Maybe they're not that thick, I don't know. Just dudes with glasses. Ask them to take them off. Ask them if you're being recorded, because this is not my first rodeo with this. And I would just hate for any other woman to have to wake up to see her face all over the internet in a way that she didn't give permission for. So anyways.
So just in case you're confused, here's the video in its entirety, the original video.
Excuse me, you got a mess? You single? Single? Take them? Sure. She's beautiful.
No, you're cute. You just look young.
So? I'm 26. Come on.
Yeah, baby child.
You shouldn't. If you want to, you can. Julian.
I'm Farrah.
You live in Austin? Yes. So I live in South Austin. What part of Austin you live in? Don't look at her. Look at me.
Take my Instagram.
Yeah. Tell me your name.
Vera.
Vera. Julian. Beautiful. What color your eyes? Gray or green?
Green.
Me too. Oh, we match it. All right, here.
I was gonna give you my Instagram.
Oh, you can do both. You don't like eye contact?
No, I do.
Oh, am I handsome?
Only because you like.
Obviously, yes. Okay. Well, let me impress you.
But if you see me,
Shake mine with your right hand. That's fine. I'm not.
Get my Instagram though.
I do what I have to. I don't assume anything
Okay.
ever.
You just be blue.
I'm glad you understand. You like to work out? You like to go to the gym?
Here you go.
She's nervous. Oh, she's such a sweet woman. She's sweet. I'll see you later.
That's the original video. So this is what she's talking about. And this is what she's offended by. Right? So it looks like to me, I mean, she's saying, how dare you? You didn't see off camera that I told him not to put my hands down his pants or whatever. It doesn't really look like it matters. It looks like you guys were a little tipsy, had a drink, and you say, oh, don't do that. Stop that. Right? Even if we didn't have that footage, it still looks like you're in his face at the end of the video. Are you disputing that? I mean, we try to make it seem like men are just out here. And there was another video where a woman was like, oh, it's generally frowned upon that you record a woman without her consent, that you record women without their consent and then post it. Really? The same way that y'all be taking these profiles of men and be posting them without their consent? The same way that y'all be filming a man across the parking lot or in the gym or in the gas station and be like, TikTok, do your thing? Is that the same thing or no? Is that something different? Is that something that y'all have the privilege of doing? We want to get up on here and cry and whine and scream and holler and roll all out over the ground. But y'all be doing the same thing to men. And when men say, hey, well, wait a minute. When that happens to us, can we say anything? Of course not. Because I'm a woman. We fear for our lives.
I just wanted to say, if you see me out somewhere and my nipples are showing, not just the pointy, but the circle, a little bit through my shirt, you don't have to tell me. I know. It's intentional. And I went on a date with a guy not too long ago, and he said to me, I don't mind what girl wears when I'm dating her as long as she's not going out with her nipples out or anything. And here's the thing. What it must be like to have nipples that aren't forbidden. Get a little hot, just flip your shirt off at any time. Mine are actually functional. They provide life. They provide nutrients to babies. What do yours do? Why do yours get to just be for fun, for show? And I have to keep mine under wraps. I know this isn't a new take, okay? But this is my silent protest. So if you see my nipples, you're welcome. And also, who the fuck cares? Because nobody cares about your nipples.
Yeah, so if you have your chest showing and stuff like that, then it's all good, I want it to be like that. But should a man come through and put the riz on you, put the riz on you, then all of a sudden it's a problem. These women are backwards. I almost think this is like a skit or something like that. She's got some sort of OF. That's what it's giving right now. I ain't gonna go that far, but that's the way you acting right now. You acting like you want some clout and you just using this video as outrage to get more followers. If that's the case, good for you.
I be scrolling on this phone that I pay the bill for and seeing videos of men talking about, oh, there's no reward for being a good man. Shut the
Question for the men, serious question. why are we going on dating apps if we're not ready to date and commit to a relationship? Like, you guys know you don't have to be there, right?
So I met this group of black men, lovely people. They were friends with another one of my friends. Like, we met at a big party. They were all very handsome, and I'm just a big bubbly personality, right? I'm just saying hi to everybody. Well, I get all of their Instagram, or I get 3 of their Instagrams, because I like making new friends, and I can be friends with men, and I can be friends with men who are pretty, right? Well, the ones without a girlfriend, 2 of them, both texted me individually or DM'd me asking, oh, like, let's get together, like, come to this bowling party, whatever. Like, and then I see one of them in person, and I was like, oh my God, it's so nice to see you, like, whatever. And then, of course, he asks to hang out. I'm not, and of course, when we first met, I can hear as they're walking away, well, you don't know which one she's interested in. I'm not interested in any of you. I want friends. And it could be because you look at me and you go, why does this little white girl want to be friends with a bunch of black men? Maybe that's their thought process, right? Because I've gotten that reaction before. I just like friends. I like people. I don't care what gender you are. I just want friends. It's just not always about sex, and I decline, and I'm like, I'm just not looking for a hookup. I want more male friends, but I fear that they don't do that. Men don't like to be friends with women.
Where did you get your lifted shoes at?
Where do I get this?
Yeah, your lifted shoes. Wait, you have inserts too?
I don't have any inserts.
Why are you guys trying to look taller than
They're
you
just
are?
dress shoes. They're just dress shoes. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you, how tall do you think we are?
5'4"?
Oh my. Whoa! I'll be like this.
Men don't seem to be driven by schmecks anymore like they used to be. This is a problem because how are we supposed to manipulate you anymore?
And this is one of the main reasons why women have no leverage in the dating market, because if men have come to the point where they're saying, or at least in practice, sex is not moving them, like the lack of sex or offering sex is not moving them, women are in trouble, because that is literally your only leverage, or the lack of, or withholding sex is your only leverage. And women today don't have the discipline to sort of withhold leverage, not with whole phases, not with hot girl summers, not with living my best life. So if men aren't being bothered by sex, if men aren't sort of chasing, if men aren't living and dying by their small head, women are in trouble. Women are in trouble. You have no leverage to get anything that you want out of men unless you collectively withhold sex. And the reason why men aren't sort of driven or beholden to sex anymore is because it's been so devalued, because women are giving sex out everywhere. You can't give sex so freely and then expect sex or your box to still have the same value.
I just saw someone say that the dating advice given to women that is like, don't text him first, don't double text, whatever, is eerily similar to the advice of don't speak unless spoken to. And she compared it to, she said it was like managing your behavior to be desirable to somebody else. And then I saw somebody in the comments saying, if my attention is going to scare him away, I want to scare him away. If my interest in him is going to scare him away, fucking run then, you know?
My favorite litmus test, I'm not even joking, is can they go to a gay bar, behave properly, shake ass, and have a good time? If you can't do that, you can't be friends with me. Because that means you're male-centered, you're homophobic, and you suck. And you need to be respectful of space.
If you're a girl, stop everything you're doing. I need to ask you a question. What is preventing you from going up to someone who you're attracted to and talking to them in public? Like, you see someone, you're sitting outside, you see someone cute, you're interested, you want to go talk to them. What is stopping you?
I'm low-key kind of sick of women posting their boyfriends or their husbands' moral failings on the internet. And then when people say, hey, that's kind of concerning, they're being like, oh no, you just don't understand. You just don't understand like our relationship. And it's like, I don't want to.
I don't know. I feel like as a man, why are you making a get ready with me? Like, I just feel like y'all need to be at work. Like, why are you doing a get ready with me? That's for girls. I don't know. It's getting weird.
You know, I just a random thought. So some of these women I'm listening to, man, you listen to them and you be like, man, a lot of ugly women out here. A lot of ugly women out here. A lot of losers out here. A lot of them think they a lot more than what they are. They feel like because they put some glasses on and they slick their hair back, you got some AirPods on, then all of a sudden you in the tax bracket to be talking trash. I feel like, you know, you get a nice little haircut, throwing a nice little tank top, and all of a sudden you in a tax bracket to be talking trash. Some of y'all just need to go ahead and get some Chick-fil-A and go on to the house. Really. Go on ahead to Chick-fil-A. Go on to the house. That's it. You want to get you a cool wrap. That's going to be a little snack for a little bit later on. I want to eat healthy, quote unquote. So I'm going to give me a nice little Cobb salad. But right now I want to pig out. Give me the 10 count. Give me the 10 count of nuggets. Large fry. Large Dr. Pepper. The Chick-fil-A sauce and the ranch. Give me extra of that. I'll buy the bottle too. Put that in the bag. Scan for my points. And head on to the house. That's what y'all need to be doing instead of on here talking silly.
I was talking to this guy. I told him that if I were a man, my biggest fear would be that I have a small dick. Without a skip or a beat, he was like, you could always kill yourself. Not that it's anything, but like this man is also very well endowed. But I take back what I said. I think my biggest fear would be that I'm a fucking asshole like you.
Here's a list of things that I wish I could ask men on a first date. Do you wash your ass? Can you define feminism? Are you over your ex? Like for real? What is the worst thing you've ever done in your life? Do you have a separate shampoo, conditioner, and body wash? What is your annual income? Do you manscape? What is your relationship with your mom like? Would you consider any of your exes crazy? Have you ever been rejected? What is your stance on therapy? How many times can you wear a pair of jeans before they need to be washed? How many times a day do you think that you lie?
I have a very important question. What are all the single guys doing for Valentine's Day weekend? Right? Like, I'm single and I have a whole weekend of plans lined up with my girls. We're going to the movies, we're going to dinner, we're going bar hopping all day. Like, we've got it down, okay? We've got it covered. Do the single guys just like get together and make plans on Valentine's Day? I mean, if so, I would love to know what they're doing. But like, I'm just curious. Let me know.
When someone says that their top love language is physical touch, literally get some depth. Read a book, touch grass. No.
A man who uses certain words as part of his daily vocabulary and he uses these words derogatorily, that is not your future husband. I just got off the phone with a man that I matched with on Hinge a couple days ago and I wanted to have a phone conversation. During the conversation, he used the word just casually to describe a situation that he thought was stupid. These are not classy men. Remind yourself, somebody of sophistication and class and maturity, they are going to speak a certain way and they are going to avoid using certain words as well. So, and a lot of you really need to just grow up and just be better human beings. That's my 2 cents.
I don't think that it is sexist, anti-feminist, or patronising for a man to offer to carry a woman's suitcase up or down the steps in the train station, and I do fear that we are losing the art of chivalry, especially in London, because I just went through King's Cross and the whole of the tube and not once did anyone say to me, mate, would you like a hand with that? And I'm pretty slender, I'm 5'1" and physically disabled. So if someone had said that, I would have said, yes, please, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. And it's when you look around, like, is anyone available to help? No one makes eye contact with you. In fact, they try and shove past you faster when they can see that you're struggling. And it's not even about your gender. Like, you don't need to be a man to offer me help. If you've got fewer things in your hands and it looks like I'm struggling, you could just say, hey mate, do you want a hand with that? What's the worst that's going to happen? I say, no, thank you, I'm good. Like, no one's gonna kick off. If you saw an old man going up the steps and he was struggling with his walker, would you offer him some help? It's not being sexist. It's just being nice and generous. And I think people should do it more.
So I was supposed to go on a date, but they canceled because I was a bitch. Fair. I'm not denying that one. But I was already ready. I have my popcorn, I have everything. So anyways, so I'm gonna go with myself. It's 2026 and I have my medicine with me. It's gonna be a great movie.
90% of the sexually explicit comments I see on TikTok are left by women, and I think we need to talk about it. It was funny at first, okay? The not so explicit comments where it was like, oh, I'm gnawing at the bars of my enclosure. That was funny. But it has progressively become more and more sexual to the point where it's genuinely making men uncomfortable. And I know that there's going to be women out there that says, who cares about making men uncomfortable? Like, they make us uncomfortable. Why do you want to continue to perpetuate sexualization when you don't like it yourself? This is what I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, the comments I'm seeing, they're foul. It's like, oh, I know it's big. I know he talks you through it. And it's one thing to leave that comment on a fan edit of Jacob Elordi. Okay, fine. He's not going to see it. But there are girls leaving these comments on the videos of men who, and they're small creators. They're trying to build a following. They're like a gym influencer or XYZ, whatever you name it. And it's so funny because those comments never get responded to. And I know you guys are gonna be like, okay, pick me, whatever, pick me. Look, the reason why I don't like this is because I don't want to live in an overly sexualized society. We already live in one, okay? But let's not perpetuate it by making those comments, okay? You don't want men to objectify us and then you're objectifying them. Even worse, I have, like, the comments that I see from women, I have not seen a man make those kinds of comments. And I think they know that if they did, they're gonna either get removed from the app or, I mean, you know what happened with me too, you know? So, yeah, my complaint is, why are you going to perpetuate the sexualization if you want it to stop?
They got this trend out called the, I almost want to call it Bolo. I think it's Bolo, where the man is just talking sexual, like he's using explicit language, and the women are on there lusting. They're once again lusting as they tell us that they don't do all of the time. Weird.
So this was on my 2026 predictions list, but why are men discovering core power? Why would a man be there? Why do I open the door to the studio and suddenly I'm transported to Sugma Nuts frat chapter? And I'm not talking about the 60-year-old men with the tribal tattoos that can do yoga better than the instructor. No, they can hang. I'm talking about the 22-year-olds, Chad in the back of the room, the blowjob brothers trying to figure out why the fuck there's hot air coming out of the vent. This is a heated yoga class, guy. To me, yoga is the opportunity to go into a room, say next to nothing, wear next to nothing, leave the minute it's over, and stink the fucking place up. Now I gotta worry about whether or not my ass looks good while I'm bending over into Warrior 3. And if I catch a glimpse of an 8-pack out of my peripheral vision, guys, I'm sorry I haven't decentered men from my life yet. I'm wobbling out of that pose like it's my rookie season. And if young guys actually earnestly want to do yoga, like, I'm all for that. I've tried to get my guy friends to come with me to yoga so many times, but I'm just a little suspicious about that wandering eye, okay? Because when two motherfuckers show up in a little tight 5-inch inseam shorts, I know your game. I know who taught you that.
Bring back men who do things for the fucking love of the game, right? Because those are the only types of men that deserve women who do things for the love of the fucking game. Who do things because being a woman is just so sexy and so delicious. And you're like, you know what? I'll do whatever, right? Bring back men who make women's lives easier and make women want to actually care and nurture for their fucking sorry asses.
I ain't gonna lie, like, ooh, being a woman is no joke. It's that time of the month and I am dying.
Okay, here's one thing to get outbadded by another girl. I'll give credit where it's due. But to get outbadded by a man, that is humiliating. I went to go get food with this guy, and it wasn't our first time hanging out. So I was like, well, what are you wearing? He was like, oh, I'm just wearing a sweat set. I'm like, okay, cool. I go downstairs with, I don't know, my collar sweater and regular sweatpants. He gets out the car and he has a matching aloe set on. Okay, baddie, like strike number one. We go get food on the side of the street. It's so chill, like super chill. And then I get home and I tell my homegirl, like, oh yeah, I mean, he was cool, but he had like a matching aloe set on. I just thought it was so funny. But it wasn't the regular sweat set. It was like knitted. And she goes, did he have the scholar set on? I don't know what that is. So I look it up. And yes, he did have the scholar set on that he was eating on the side of the street with a $300 matching aloe set. Nasty work. Yeah, so that was the day that I told myself I would never allow myself to get out baddie by a man ever again.
I hate to be that girl, but like after a certain amount of time, if you have not bought me something, I'm gonna dip. Like it 1000% is a deal breaker for me, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I love generous men. Like I enjoy spending my time with men that enjoy doing things for me or like nice things. Like I've been very lucky and have dated some really generous men, and I feel like for that reason I just would never be able to not date one. Like we will not fucking last at all if he's not generous. I don't.
Today's modern woman is the most egotistical, self-centered, spoiled brat of women in human history. What she's saying is, in order for her to like you, you have to heap praise and gifts on her constantly. Does that mean she likes you, or she likes the free presents that she's getting from you? Men, take this advice. Women like this, you run, and you run as fast from, because she is not here for you. She is here for the gifts. And when the gift stops, so does her affection, love, or treatment. It ends. And this is not the woman for you. But for the larger point about women being so spoiled, so egotistical, listen to how they describe this, because it is terrible what they're describing. So they have to use words like, he's generous. He genuinely wants to give me stuff. No human being, including men, has ever genuinely said the top priority in my life is to buy somebody else stuff constantly. Just the belief that men are like this is absurd. Any man, and I would bet that this woman, when she says men, she's been so fortunate to have a lot of men that have been generous, I bet you 9 out of 10 times these are sugar daddies. These are men who are vastly much more older than her, who she has simply made the arrangement of, I'll give you my feminine energy if you paid for all these things. The thing is this. What happens when your beauty runs out? That's the thing that women like this can't or refuse to foresee. Your beauty, the thing that's getting you these unsolicited gifts, unsolicited money, your beauty runs out. And for a lot of women, your beauty runs out in your 30s. Then what do you do? If you haven't secured a man by then, and you're still playing this, going from guy to guy who's being generous to you, that game runs out very quickly.
So I saw that video where that young man was like, oh, black girls don't like nerdy guys, which is not true. Black girls absolutely like nerdy guys, but I stay quiet because I remember that one time I matched with this nerdy black guy online because I thought I was into that sort of thing. So when he asked me to go on a date with him, I agreed. The plan was to go to dinner, and I remember it was a cold winter night in New York City. There was snow on the ground, and when he picked me up for our date, it was actively snowing then as well. I get into his car and we're off, and I remember him yapping on about God knows what, but at some point I put my hand out at the air vent to warm my hands up, and he looks over at me and he's like, are you cold? And then I go, oh, a little. So then he says, would you like me to warm your seat up for you? And then I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. Thank you. So he presses the button in his car to turn my seat warmers on. And now I'm stoked because I see which button turns my seat warmer on. So I go, I think I'll just turn that up a little more. So I hit the button 2 more times. And then he laughs. And he's like, oh, well, you wouldn't want to turn that up too high because we wouldn't want to fry your eggs now, would we? Because we're going to need those.
You know, you even have women in the comments saying that this was pretty funny. But of course, modern women, they always want to make something a problem. They always want to make something a problem. They need content. They need a story. They got to have something. Their lives aren't fulfilling enough. Their lives are super boring, loser lifestyle. You know, you talk about the baddie culture of these women. No, man, they're losers. They're losers. And I know you would never want to say that about yourself because it'll ruin your self-esteem. And that's okay. I wouldn't expect you to call yourself a loser. I would expect you to say about yourself, you know, I have some challenges that I need to overcome. I have some things that I need to work on. Like really bad. Like immediately. I need to get that in order. But I wouldn't expect you to call yourself a loser. Now, somebody looking on the outside, they might say, you know, if they change this, and this about themselves, then they'll be all right. They'll be straight. But right now, they're a loser.
Let's talk about the fact that not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 men made me feel uncomfortable and unsafe yesterday, and I just don't understand what's wrong with men. I was gonna try and talk about this calmly too, but I was like, I'm feeling irate even just thinking about it, so this is gonna be a rant. So the first one wasn't even that bad. It really wasn't terrible, but it was the fact that it was one thing right after another, 4 men within the span of a few hours, that I was just like, why can't I just exist as a woman in the world and not be bothered and harassed by men? So the first situation that happens, I'm flying home back to New York from California where my family is. I'm coming back from the holidays. I'm tired. Our flight is late. It's going to get in at midnight. I just want to get on the plane, go to sleep. I get on the plane, the overhead storage is really full, and I'm like, oh my God, where am I going to put my suitcase? He's in the aisle seat. I have the window seat, and I'm like, hey, that's my seat. Can I put one of my bags there? And while I figure this out, and he's like, oh, let me help you out. I think there's space up here. He helps me get my luggage in the overhead storage. I'm like, thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Sit down, get situated. He immediately turns to me and starts trying to have a conversation. And if you have been on this planet long enough, you can tell whether or not the conversation is giving like friendly, just trying to get to know you, just like being nice, or if it's like being nice and if you give me an opening, then I'm going to hit on you and try and get your contact. I was feeling like it was the latter. He's a single man, he was an older man, and there's nothing wrong with the fact that he was an older man, but in New York especially, older men tend to go after younger women and they prey on them, and it's very problematic. And when I was a younger woman, I did date older men, and I thought like, oh my God, I must be so special. They must think I'm so mature because they're pursuing me when they could have someone their age. No, they're weird, and women their age don't want to date them.
So basically, he helped you do something, and he said, oh, she's cute. Hey, what's your name? Try to start a conversation, and then it didn't work out. So he got the hint. I don't understand. I've been on a plane before where people have talked to me and I didn't want to be talked to, and they just kept on talking to me and I didn't want to be talked to. But eventually, after maybe 4 or 5 minutes, then the conversation dies down. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, oh, wow. Yeah, I do that. Or it could be 20 minutes, or it could be throughout the whole flight. You never know. You just never know who you're going to sit beside. I turn to the window, which I usually ain't sitting by the window. I'm usually sitting in the aisle seat, right? At some point in time, they turn to the window and they look out the window. At some point in time, they be talking to me, and then the next thing you know, they sleep. What are you talking about right now? But continue.
That's why they're pursuing younger women. I'm in my 30s, but I present as someone in my 20s. Most of the time, men think that I'm in my 20s. So I was like, this is an older man that's probably gonna try and hit on me. I don't feel like dealing with this right now. I don't wanna be bothered. And ladies, there is nothing wrong with not wanting to be bothered. You don't have to be friendly and have every conversation. So normally, I would have been friendly and had a conversation with him, but as soon as he started asking me questions, I was like, I'm not in the mood. So I answered 2 of his questions. I was like, yeah, I'm from California, my family's there, I'm going home to New York, blah, blah, blah. I turned to my window, looked away, and just pretended like he didn't exist. He got the message and left me alone for the rest of the flight. So I was like, thank God. That honestly wasn't that bad, but just the fact that we have to like maneuver in situations like that, especially because like you don't want to make them upset. You know, you don't know for sure if they're going to hit on you, so maybe you're overthinking it.
A lot of the times we gaslight ourselves into thinking a situation isn't what it is, and 9 times out of 10, it is what it is. So, second situation then.
No, it's not. 9 out of 10 times, it's not what you think it is. It's not. A lot of people overthink it. You can, cut the meeting if that's what you want to do, or cut the little small talk if that's what you want to do. But right now, you're starting off as a loser.
Happens. We land at midnight, a little after midnight. I'm trying to find an Uber. I'm standing in the airport for a while because the prices are outrageous. It's like over $100 to go 30 minutes. And I was like, I'm not paying this. So I'm trying to figure out, public transportations, whatever. And I'm standing for about 15 minutes against like a pillar. And I'm like, I'm really tired. I would love to sit. And so I see there's this like metal box. I don't know what it is, but like a metal box that's like 3 feet high. And I was like, oh, let me go sit on that. I wasn't going to sit on it at first because I wasn't sure if I would like get in trouble. I don't know what's in it. But I see a guy sitting on the one next to it, and I'm like, well, nobody said anything to him in 15 minutes, so like maybe it's okay. So I go to sit down, I'm on my phone, he immediately gets up. Mind you, the 15 minutes that I was already there standing in the area that's like right by the exit, he hadn't moved, he was sitting, he was, doing his thing on his phone, whatever, staring off into the distance. As soon as I sit down, he gets up and goes and stands directly in front of me. I want to say about 3 feet in front of me, and spreads his legs apart. And I'm like sitting down. I don't notice it at first. And then I look up a little bit and I see his feet. And I'm like, why is he standing in front of me? Like there's all this space. He does not need to be standing in front of me. And so I look up and I see he's not looking at me, but like slightly over me. Mind you, there is nothing over me. There are no signs. There's no screens. There's nothing to look at. So I'm like, did he just get up to do this? Like, I feel like there's this thing that men do, and they do it a lot on the train, where they'll sit spread eagle on a seat when plenty of people are on the train and would love a seat just to like assert dominance and like take over the space. You might be sitting down, they'll come stand in front of you, and their crotch will be just a little bit too close to your face, but not so close that it's outright harassment, but close enough to where you feel uncomfortable. I feel like he was kind of doing that. Luckily, after I looked at him a few moments later, he walks away and goes to talk to his friend who's next to me, and I was like, okay, that was weird, that was annoying, but like whatever.
So nothing again. You say 4 men. You're now sitting at 0 for 2. They did nothing to you. The man, have you ever been to an airport? Have you ever been to an airport? People come up in your space. These folks, it don't matter where you sit in the airport. These folks will come right in your space. They'll walk right in your space, sit down beside you, and then and start yeah, ha 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 ha, just laughing loud, talking loud, being on. Well, now why you come over here and sit over here? Now what you doing over here, man? You were way over there across the airport. Way over there by Starbucks. What you doing over here? Put my headphones on because I know it's going to be multiple people in the space and they maneuver differently. That's why you bring you a little something to entertain you. You bring you some headphones, some noise canceling. I know you can buy some of those. Bring some of those noise canceling headphones. Put those on. You got your book. You got your TV show you're watching on Netflix. Whatever it is. But you're in a space with different people. They act differently. The man didn't do anything to you. He's looking over me trying to assert dominance. Girl, ain't nobody think about your silly behind. Shut up. Shut up. Stop talking to folks. Leave folks alone. You bothering folks.
I finally get a car. My car is sitting and it takes him 15 minutes to go 1 minute. Mind you, he's sitting in the same spot about a minute from the airport and not moving. So I was like, whatever, it's late, maybe he's taking a break, it's fine. Finally, I message him and I'm like, hey, are you lost? Are you on your way? And he's like, oh, yeah, 5 minutes. And I'm like, well, the app says less than 1 minute away. I don't understand why it's 5 minutes. He doesn't respond, but finally he starts moving. He gets there, he can't find me, I can't find him, I'm texting him. Finally, I call him and I'm like, hey, I don't understand where you are. He immediately starts yelling at me, like raises his voice yelling at me. This is the first time that we are speaking on the phone, and he starts going off and he's like, I told you this, I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. I'm here, you said this, it's the wrong thing. And I was like, you need to lower your voice, first of all. Do not speak to me that way. Do not speak to anyone that way. I don't know you. You're a stranger. Why are you yelling at me? It's the middle of the night. I'm tired. Like, I don't have the energy to deal with this. I finally tell him, like, I am here. I told you the right directions. You are the idiot that can't figure this out. That's not my problem that you don't know how to get to the right spot in the airport to pick somebody up. Like, that is not my problem. You figure it out or I'm going to call another car. Like, I don't care. Finally, he figures it out. He pulls around. He pulls up, he gets out of the car, and he starts going off again. But like ranting, but not looking at me. And I'm like, what is this guy's problem? Like, I don't understand. Were you just arguing on the phone with someone else and you're taking out on me? I don't know. He starts going off again, and I stop him, and I'm like, do not speak to me that way. Do not raise your voice. Do not talk to a complete stranger this way. Like, I don't understand who raised you and why you think it's okay to talk to people this way, especially people you don't even know. And I never was speaking to you that way. And he like looks at me for a second and then does it again and continues ranting. And he takes my suitcase and like tosses it angrily into the trunk. And I was like, now you're not respecting my property. Now I feel super unsafe. Me getting in a car with you is not a good idea. So I was like, you know what? Give me my bag back. Like, I'm not getting in the car with you. You were 15 minutes late. You're sitting around. I don't know what you're doing. You're screaming at me. You're throwing my property around. Like, you probably drive insane. It is definitely not safe for me to get in a car with you. So he gives me my bag back. He doesn't even say anything, and he just leaves. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is the energy in the air? So the final situation, I call another car. I get in the car. The guy seems nice and normal and actually very friendly. I did a share because it was cheaper. There's another girl in the car. She's trying to sleep. I can tell she's like exhausted and like just wants to get to her destination also. She's literally sitting with her hand on her luggage, like knocked out. He starts trying to talk to both of us, and he's like, oh, me, you know, this other girl, she's coming from Hawaii. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I can tell she doesn't want to talk, but like he's forcing us to interact. So I was like, oh, okay. And she's super sweet. He drops her off. Then we're driving, and he proceeds to start hitting on me as well. And he's like, oh, you're so pretty. You look Moroccan. I was like, oh, thank you for the compliment. I'm not, but like, that's really sweet of you. We're driving, and then he continues to like ask like get to know you questions, like, what are your hobbies? You know, what do you do for work? Like, what kind of food do you like to eat? You know, have you had Turkish food? Because he's Turkish. And I was like, no, I don't think so. But like, I've had other, you know, cultures that are similar. Like, I really like them, whatever. The conversation would be fine. But then he proceeds to be like, I'd really like to take you out. I'd really like to take you to get Turkish food. And I was like, I did the I have a boyfriend thing. And he like ignores that and keeps being like, I would like to take you out. And then he goes like, I'm going to ask you again. Can I take you out for Turkish food? And I was like, no. Like, I already said no. I said I have a boyfriend. Like, what else do I need to say to you? Thankfully, this car, now I'm like, I feel uncomfortable because thankfully this man is not taking me to my home. But if he had been, he would know where I live. I had called the car to the Oculus, which is like a major train hub, if you don't know. And I was going to take the train home the rest of the way from there. And so like finally we get to the destination and he's like, is this where you live? And I was like, no, this isn't where I live, but like it's cheaper for me to take the train. And he's like, well, I can just drive you all the way home. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, I've had a night. I need to get away from strange men. I've had enough. My tolerance is at 0. It's at negative 1200. Like, I'm done. So I finally get out, finally get home, take the train home, and I was just like, that was insane.
For your benefit, I'm going to give him 90%. But I really think it's 50-50 on this one. So you said you were texting him, which if you've ever had an Uber or a DoorDash or somebody delivering stuff, you know how frustrating it is that you give them specific instructions and they don't follow those instructions. They just don't follow them. They be way down the street. They be like, how'd you get down there? They be way around the corner. Be like, what are you doing over there? Like that are you even looking? And then you be trying to call them. They don't be answering. You be texting them. They don't be texting back. Where you at? I had to walk outside, stand in the, stand in the middle of, I'm right. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's what I told you. Oh, yeah. What you talking about? Yeah, that's what I've been telling you, man. I've been trying to. So I understand the frustration. And then you have to talk about an airport where it's super confusing. Why is an Uber driver? These folks ain't professionals. You remember, these are normal people. Yeah, they might, because they're Uber, go to the airport more than you do. But that does, especially with all the construction. I don't know what y'all got going on at your airports, but at mine, there's always construction, always a lot of people, always a lot of confusion. Pick me up over here. You might say, pick me up at the airport. Did you put the terminal number in there or where you're supposed to be picked up, the specific section? You be thinking that you're going to that section because the arrows be saying, okay, yeah, here's a section right here. And then you go to that section and before you know it, mind you, these planes be letting people off and you roll through there 5 minutes prior. Ain't nobody there. You can just roll up, somebody just get out, get in the car and y'all pull off. No traffic. But when that plane hit, everybody come at the same time. And all of a sudden there's traffic everywhere. And now it takes you a little bit longer to work through that line. So that man, you call him and say, okay, I'm trying to get picked up, and he's looking. And like I said, you you might be driving to, you think you're going in that section, but then you driving and you realize, oh shoot, that's my exit. And then you can't get in because people, they know what you're trying to do, and now you locked out. They be bumper to bumper. You try to stop, but the car's behind you. Maybe you going too fast, or the car's behind you beeping at you, so you got to go around, and that's another 10-15 minutes you got to wait. It's a frustrating experience for the both of you. That's why you have to remain patient and calm. And when you was texting him, you're not telling us what you texted him about. You're not telling them what you said during the text message. You're not telling us if you popped off during the text message and you said something out of pocket. But even, let's say everything that you said was above board. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt, right? He might have looked at that wrong and said, oh man, she really wasn't trying to get on me. She was just trying to say where I'm at, right? But you might have been asking like 5 or 10 times, which I get it, middle of the night. Hey man, where you at? If that's the case, depending on what the airport is, don't be waiting outside, right? Stay inside, right inside the doors. And usually they got a sitting area. Sit right there until they come. Are you outside? Or you close? Yeah, when I'm this, and this. Don't be sitting outside. Stay inside where you can have at least a little bit of quote unquote safety. How much safety you gonna have? It's the middle of the night, right? So on this one, I'll give him 90%. Because when you got in the car, he probably still thinking about that text message, right? And so he probably was still amped up off that. But I think my point is, you making it seem like you just not doing anything. Poor little old me is crazy. So maybe 1.5 men out of 4, really, honestly and truly, if I'm being generous. Even if we give him that last thing and the last guy is being a creeper, and you're like, bro, what are you doing? Like, don't do this. Don't be weird. 1.5 out of 4. Y'all want to be the victim so bad. Just leave people alone. Just go home, man. And that's why I say that these women are losers, man. Because they're always creating problems, like where there are no problems. You're a loser.